Hello everyone, we meet again in the Rise Your Speech to the Next Level, brought to you by Surabaya Toastmasters Club. Today I become your host. My name is Jonathan, and we are going to take your speech to the next level by today's speech. Today's speech title is Give Fish to the Cat, Not to the Horse. What is the meaning behind this title? Is when you give something to like food to certain animals. For example, you give fish to the cat will like to eat it. But if you give the fish to the horse may not eat it. So it is just like you giving speech to wrong audience. So give fish to the cat, not to the horse. We are going to talk about it with our guest speaker, DTM Rina Lukiandari from Surabaya Toastmasters Club. Hi Rina, how are you today?
Hello, Jonathan. So great today.
Yeah. About this topic, give fish to the cat, not to the horse. It is simply like giving good speech to the right audience. How to do that? Why it is so important in speech?
When you prepare your speech, knowing your audience will help you to make decision. What sort of information you should include, how you should arrange that information, and what kind of supporting details that will be necessary for your audience to understand what you are presenting. Also to decide what sort of language style that you want to deliver, because knowing your audience, there are differences among them. They have the general age, gender, education level, and then also religion, language, culture, and group member. This is the thing that's very important to develop your speech, because different audience, they have different desire, different backgrounds, and different needs. Therefore, keeping your audience first and foremost on your thought when choosing a specific purpose will increase the likelihood that your audience will find your speech meaningful, and they will be following and listening to your speech from the beginning until the end, because you can cater what becomes what they need.
Okay, if that is important, now the most important question is how we to do that.
How to do that is there are many ways actually. You do what we call the analysis of the audience. First is that when you are asked to deliver a speech, you need to know what sort of topic that you need to deliver. And you need to ask who's your audience, what's their background, and then what do they need. Because you don't want to deliver something that is out of their needs. Most important also, you need to know the sizes of the audience, whether you only speak in front of 5 people, 10 people, or 20 people, then that will be different, because there are many elements of speech that in accordance with the audience sizes. And also what you need to know is the setting of the areas of when you deliver the speech. So you need to do a kind of a small research to mostly what's the background of the audience, and then what's the topic that you need to deliver to them.
How to adapt with audience preferences? Can you give me an example? For example, we are going to give a speech to an audience like parents in the teachers and parents meeting, for example. What should we adapt to that kind of situation?
When we deliver a speech or a presentation, the topic should be something that we master at. Of course, that if we don't know what the topic is, and then the topic is not something that we master, it will be difficult for us to present that. And if there's a question come up, it will also be difficult for us to answer that. So what we need to do is we do some research. Of course, first is a topic that we understand, and then we add up with some of the research to that. So on that case, we need to prepare of all the possibility that might come up during our presentation or our speech.
Is it also about the word that we use, or just the, what is that, idiom, also the level of knowledge that we have to take mind when we giving speech?
Yes, because if you think about the level of education.
Yes.
It will be different if you deliver your speech in front of the professional or in front of the university student, because the language style that you will use will also be different. That means that you have to be able to adapt to their language style. Otherwise, people won't understand because they are from a different community. So being a speaker or presenter in many different aspects of a community, that means you have to have kind of different styles on. It's like on a cupboard that, okay, this is the style that I want to take, and then, okay, use that. If you want to be on a different style, then you have to pick up on your library and then, okay, this is the other style that I need to use. So you have to have kind of a collection of styles for your speech.
I always thought before I joined Toastmasters that when a good speaker doing a speech, they will be understood by all the people, something like that. But is that correct or not, Rina? Or we just have to adapt with people? What is the criteria for a good speaker? Is he or she able to adapt to the audience, or is he or she can create a speech that everybody, no matter their background, can accept it?
Yeah, actually both are correct, because if you are able to deliver the speech that all the people can understand, meaning that you can go into their circle. That similarly, when you are able to adapt, meaning that you can go inside their circle, that means people are open mind to accept you. That means actually it's no difference whether you are the one adapting or making people understand what you speak, because it's like putting the puzzle together that you have to match to each other. No matter who's doing what, but that's the goal that every speaker would like to have, is to make the audience understand of the message that is being delivered.
I see. Now, how to test that our approach during the speech is already appropriate? For example, I think that my analysis about this audience is correct, and then I do the speech. Then during the speech, how can I know that my approach is correct?
If how to know that your approach is
Yes.
correct, especially if a lot easier if you do a live
Offline.
during a Zoom.
Okay.
That's also easy, as long as people showing their camera, put their camera on. But if it's in an offline presentation, it's easy. you can have a look on their eyes and you can have a look on their behavior. If people start to play around with their, say, their cell phone or start to have a conversation with other people, that's the time where you need to evaluate your progress. Something wrong? Why people start not giving attention to me? And then you need to change things. For example, if you're on a stage, rather than you need to think, okay, I'll move from one side to another side. Then if people follows you on the other side, then you are able to grab their attention. Or you try to pose, or you can also try to ask question to them. If they reply, then okay, you grab their attentions back to you. But that's after you grab their attention. The other things that you need to do is how to hold their attention still. So you have to be quickly get an idea how to do that.
Wow. So I was thinking that we do not need to move around. Yes, I was thinking that a speaker need to stay in the podium and do things to that. But yes, when I joined Toastmaster, I see in the many in the YouTube, right, in the many speech that given by international speakers, they just walk from one stage to another stage. I was thinking that it is a way for them to reaching the audience. I never thought that it is also a way to gauge their attention.
Yes, because when people moving, automatically other people will follow where you go. That's natural. And then usually the stage is so big. So when the stage is big and you are there, all those stages are yours. And you can use whatever you want to use. You can go down to the stage and then go among the audience. That also be fine.
Yeah, that's all new for me. And by the way, I agree with you. I joined Toastmaster during the pandemic, and I felt that it is rather lacking because I do not really know people really pay attention to my speech or not, because people just can browse or just watching their phone or seeing something else in their computer. But they still can applaud me because when I say back to you, Toastmaster of the meeting, they just wake up from their activity and just clapping their hand.
Yes. You never know because I think you also noticed that when they have a Zoom meeting, the chat box sometimes full of comment, which is actually in a offline meeting, people, they are very rare doing that, because when one person is delivering their speech, they have to give attention to the speaker and not talking to the other audience, because it's very rude, especially when you can see them doing that. But Zoom, when they're typing, you never know to whom they are doing typing, and also they can do it like not on the Zoom chat box, but probably with their WhatsApp. It will hurt in an offline meeting, and you will see people playing around with their cell phone.
Yes, that's correct. That's why I hope that we can have an offline meeting soon, and I will try to challenge myself to have a speech in that offline setting. Okay, we have a time up here. Rina, thank you for becoming a guest speaker in this podcast, and I hope all the audience can get benefit and raise their speech to the next level. Thank you, Rina.
Thank you, Jonathan. Pleasure.
Right.